What's clear to you is clear to you. And I have several ways I want to emphasize that. What's clear to you is clear to you. And somebody mentioned earlier about if you're married. Well, you know, I didn't know this while I was married, but men and women don't communicate the same way. Anybody else notice that? That's one aspect of communication. And when we were still in California, Nelson Rockefeller, I think, was the vice presidential candidate, probably on Nixon's ticket. This would be back in the 60s. Carl was a reporter, and his cameraman, Bill Moore, were assigned to go out as Nelson Rockefeller was going to be in town, and they got on the route that they were going to be traveling. Carl and Bill pulled up to the sidewalk, and both popped out of the car about the same time. Carl yells over at Bill, "Get the shotgun, get on the car, and shoot him from here." You're ahead of me. Don't get there. Bill understands exactly what Carl is saying. Carl is saying, get the shotgun mic, which is a very narrow mic and very long and picks up sound from a distance, to get on the top of the car, obviously get a good perspective, and then shoot him with a 16-millimeter camera for the footage for the 6 and 10 o'clock news. What Carl said was clear to Carl. What Carl said was clear to Bill. The two guys in suits walking by, some kind of government buttons on their lapel. Carl and Bill were detained until they explained what they were doing. What was clear to Carl and Bill was not clear to those gentlemen because their vocabulary did not use those terms in that way. So what's clear to you is clear to you. There's several words also that I become more and more fascinated by because they mean different things to different people. If I shout out, "I need change," what am I asking for? Am I panhandling? The change? Coins or the change? Yeah. And I was just in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I used the word range. If you're an at-home woman, you might be cooking on a range, but if you're a rancher, you have a range for your cows. And then somebody pointed out that a range can be the distance between two things. So I was finding that fascinating. So different words, different vocabulary. And again, I'm trying to emphasize to you that low literacy skills, the people with low literacy skills like myself, are not the only people that walk into your office or into your operation that do not understand your technology and your communication. I saw a C-SPAN program where Rudy Giuliani's wife was doing a presentation. And she mentioned that when Rudy Giuliani and she were in the doctor's office and he was given his diagnosis of prostate cancer, the doctor said, "Your biopsy is positive." And he turns to his wife, Judy, and said, "Positive, that's good, right?" Obviously a man of intelligence, leadership, capacity, education, understanding. I don't know that anybody else could have held the city of New York together and this country together under the conditions that he did. So I don't think anybody questions his intelligence and capacity. And yet, with all of that, he still misunderstood what was being said to him.